You say yes because you don't want to hurt anyone. You say yes because you want to be seen as nice. You say yes because guilt whispers that saying no is selfish, and every time you do, a small part of you disappears. The truth is, you were never taught how to say no with peace. You were taught to sacrifice, to bend, to serve. You were taught that putting yourself first makes you a bad person. So even when your chest tightens, even when your gut screams no, you smile and agree. But here's the real cost. The more you say yes to things you don't want, the less space you have for the life you do want. You fill your time with obligations that drain you. You fill your mind with resentment masked as kindness. And slowly, silently, you vanish. But it doesn't have to be this way. There is a kind of no that isn't harsh. It's calm. It's clear. It comes from knowing who you are and what you deserve. And once you learn how to say it without guilt, you stop betraying yourself just to keep others comfortable. Because being kind doesn't mean being available to everyone, and being respectful doesn't mean being obedient. Sometimes the most loving word you can say is no. The fear of saying no comes from one place. You believe that your worth is tied to how much you give. You think if you stop giving, people will stop loving you, so you overextend. You say yes when you're exhausted. You agree when every part of you wants to walk away. You show up for people who wouldn't cross the street for you, and you do it with a smile. That smile, it's not kindness, it's fear, because deep down you're not trying to help them. You're trying to avoid rejection. You want to be seen as good, generous, selfless, and in chasing that image, you abandon your truth. But here's the paradox. The more you abandon yourself to be accepted, the less respect you get, both from others and from yourself. Because people sense when you don't value your own boundaries. And if you don't protect your time, your energy, your peace, no one else will. The shift happens when you realize this. Saying no isn't rejection, it's selection. It's choosing what aligns with your values. It's prioritizing your inner world over outside approval. The strongest people aren't the ones who say yes to everything. They're the ones who can say no and stay grounded in that decision. You weren't born to be everything for everyone. You weren't put here to please, to comply, to disappear behind a smile. You are not a machine of endless yes. You are a human being with limits, with needs, with a voice. And that voice, it doesn't need to scream. It just needs to be heard by you. Learning to say no is learning to trust yourself, to trust that your time matters, that your needs are valid, that you don't have to explain your boundaries to people who ignore them. You simply enforce them. It's not about being rude. It's about being real. Saying no with clarity is one of the highest forms of self-respect. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's not conflict, it's clarity. The guilt you feel, it's not your truth, it's conditioning. And every time you choose peace over pleasing, you rewrite that conditioning, one no at a time. If you're ready to stop apologizing for having boundaries, subscribe now. This channel is your new space for power, clarity, and control. Every no you say is a yes to something else, to your rest, to your peace, to your priorities. The guilt fades when you realize this truth. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to live in alignment with your values. Not everyone will like your boundaries. That's okay. Their reaction doesn't define your decision. Your boundaries don't require permission, only conviction. Real confidence isn't loud. It doesn't explain itself. It simply chooses and stands still. And in that stillness, something shifts. People begin to respond differently, not because you've changed who you are, but because you finally honored it. There's a moment when everything clicks, when you say no without guilt and you feel lighter, not just in your schedule but in your soul. You realize you've been carrying more than you needed. You've been over-explaining, over-giving, over-apologizing. Saying no becomes less about others and more about self-preservation. It's not cold, it's clear. It's a declaration that your energy has value and you won't give it away to anyone who demands it. You stop justifying. You stop shrinking. You stop waiting for others to get it. And here's what's surprising. The world doesn't fall apart. The right people adjust. The wrong ones fade. You stop being everyone's yes person and start becoming your own protector. And in that shift, you step into a power most people never access. The power of calm, grounded, unapologetic self-respect. You've lived your entire life trained to make others comfortable. You learned that a smile makes you more likable, that silence keeps the peace, that saying yes avoids conflict, that the less you ask for, the easier it is to be loved. And maybe that worked on the surface. Maybe people liked you. Maybe you were admired for how much you gave, how selfless you seemed. But underneath it all, there was this quiet erosion of self. The more you gave, the less you had. The more you agreed, the less you remembered what you believed. The more you said yes, the more your life belonged to everyone else but you. And now you feel the cost of all those small betrayals, not dramatic ones, just the quiet ones. The sure no problem when it was a massive inconvenience. The yeah, I can do that when you were running on fumes. The it's fine when it wasn't. You kept giving because you were afraid of what would happen if you stopped. But here's the truth. Every time you choose peace for others at the cost of chaos for yourself, you lose a little more of who you really are. So now the invitation is this: to choose differently, to say no when it's needed, to stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, to start honoring the voice inside that's been whispering, "This isn't working," because the more you listen to that voice, the louder it gets, the stronger you get, and the more your life starts to reflect you. So ask yourself, how much of your life today is actually yours, and how much of it was built on guilt, fear, and pleasing? If this video shook something inside you, good. That means the real you is waking up. Subscribe now. This isn't a channel, it's a decision. And in the comments, share this with me. What's one moment you said yes just to keep the peace and never forgot it? That memory still has weight, but now you can turn it into something else: power.